Hello, good morning, and welcome to this taste challenge. As you can see, it's still dark because daylight saving time, which Trump wanted to get rid of. But then people like didn't want to do it. Some people said no. So now he's saying, well, let's just keep it all year long. Instead of getting rid of it, just keep it all year long because he said he doesn't like time changes. But anyway, yeah, when people hold on, I'm gonna go wipe this up. When people challenge him, he always like says, "Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do it." So it's a new day. Things are going to change unless people resist it, and then I'll just give up, forget about it. Okay, I have two Scotch whiskeys, single malt, 40% alcohol. Right, this one's 40% alcohol. One with no age statement, one with an age statement, sort of. All right, I'll explain that. This is Trader Joe's Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, bourbon cask finish. Trader Joe's established 1967. Did this come out in 1967? I doubt that. I don't know how long Trader Joe's has had private label whiskey, but it could have been for a long time. May have been for a long time. I don't know if these kind of specialty ones go back that far. It's like more like a modern thing, all these cask finishes and everything. But I guess they always did it, but now it's like a thing. Everybody's got to do it, Jim Beam, sherry cask finish and all of that. All right. All right. This is non-age stated. It's double matured. In other words, they use regular oak cask of some type to age it, and then they finish it in ex-bourbon cask. Now, how long is it finished in those? I don't know. Maybe a year, but I doubt it. But it seemed like it's longer than a year because it's probably only like 3 months because it's very corny tasting. I know it's all barley malt, single malt. Malted barley is only 1 grain in there, but it has a strong corn nuts flavor. Like the snacks. All right, here's Finlaggan Old Reserve Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. There's the Finlaggan Castle, which is nothing but ruins today. So why are they naming it after that? Because it's like any other product. They just find something old sounding or some old relic and they'll name it after that when it probably has nothing to do with the product. That's typical in all countries. Okay. Distilled, matured, and bottled in Scotland for the Vintage Malt Whisky Company. Yeah, not by them, for them. They are an independent bottler. And somebody, and we don't know who, somebody in Islay, probably one of the big ones, probably one of the biggies, foil cap cover. Probably one of the big companies does it for them. And they're not going to tell you, but foil cap cover. All right. But that's so common in the United States as well, as we all know, or you may know, they call it sourced whiskey in the United States. Somebody makes it for you and you put your name and label on it and then act like you did it. And a lot of people will think you did it. But if they read the bottle carefully, it'll be like product of Indiana, somewhere real small. But it'll be on there. And then you try to go to court and the judge will say, you didn't read the label? Well, no. Can you expect someone to read a label? He would say, well, yeah, it's not really hard. It's not unreasonable to look at a label, is it? Then you say, I want my civil rights. All right. Imported by Latitude Wines, Danville, California. I notice a lot of Trader Joe's. I'm not saying this is a Trader Joe's brand because it's not, but I just noticed a lot of stuff that is for Trader Joe's is from Latitude Wines. But they probably do a lot of importation, so it's probably a common thing. Put the cork back in. All right. What was the price? I did buy this at Trader Joe's, like I said, but what was the price? It wasn't high. It was, I saved the receipt because I knew I'd forget. I bought so much stuff that day. Finlaggan. $19.99. And the Lismore was $18.99. Okay. So they only had one variant, the Old Reserve. They didn't have all the other ones. Real cork. Okay. So I bought both of these on the same day at the same Trader Joe's with the same credit card. And the Trader Joe's was $17.99. Highland single malt whiskey, 40% alcohol, and the Finlaggan was $19.99. So a $2 difference. And the Trader Joe's, well, you might argue that it's as good or better or worse, whatever. You know, you can argue. I think it's fine. I don't adore it. Okay, let's see. They're both pretty dark. The Finlaggan slightly lighter though. It looks like it's got coloring added though. You know, caramel coloring, but now somebody said that Yingling traditional lager has caramel color, but they don't ever tell you. They don't ever give any proof of that. They'll just say it. Well, what's the evidence? Well, everybody knows that. Really? What's the evidence though? You know, if you're going to make an accusation or an assertion, how about backing it up? All right. Now, how do I know? You say, well, how do you know Foster's Premium Ale has caramel color added, huh? Back that up. Well, it says it on the label. It says caramel color added. So that's pretty strong primary evidence, isn't it? Finlaggan, the Vintage Malt Whisky Company Limited, Islay single malt, Old Reserve. Give you palate, nose, palate finish. I can't ever remember that stuff. Big breakfast fruitiness. Old Preserve, more like. Get it, preserves. Okay, so this is their verdict. This is awesome. If you don't get a bottle of this, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Tasting note courtesy of Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible in 2006. Okay. I hear about people referencing that all the time. It's supposed to be, you know, an authority on good whiskey. Okay. As you can see, there is an array of stuff. It is aged 6 years. I said that it was the Lismore that I called the company about, but it's actually this company. I wrote an email because the Lismore, somewhere else on the website, it says 6. One spot it doesn't say 6 years, but then another spot it does. So it's going to be right. But she said, yeah, age 6 years. So you have this 46 proof, 46 degrees, sorry, 58 degrees. They call it degrees, 46. Another, this is like and it's all kind of like the same whiskey, but it's different. You know, you got this higher proof and even higher proof. Then you got like sherry cask, bourbon cask, port cask. You know how that works. Sherry wood. See, they're taking the same thing and flipping it around. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to do that, but that's what they're doing. Okay, so the green is the base model, I guess you call it. which I'm very pleased with. And Elan Moore. I don't know what Elan Moore is, but we could read about that at some other time whenever I find it, if I ever find it. Now they make some other labels, some other brands. I say make. They have it made for them. They sell. The Cooper's Choice, Isla Storm, Smokestack, Glen Almond, rum. Our casks, sell your cask. Contact us. Okay, so I did do that. Contact us. All right. So anyway, it is a bottling company. They won an award by our team. Brian Cook, Andrew Cook, James, and other people. Okay, and as you can see, it's an office. That's their facility, an office. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not a distillery. It doesn't claim to be. There's a Baton Rouge company, and there's a Baton Rouge, Louisiana company called Noel Spirits. They make their own rum and vodka and stuff. And they say our tequila. Our tequila is so well known. Well, of course, it's not their tequila because they don't make it. They sell it with their name on it. Tequila has to be made in Mexico, not Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's a sourced liquor. I'm not saying that's bad to do it, but you have to kind of read into it a little more. Because I think if people don't know, they'll have the impression that the tequila is made in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You could make it, but you couldn't call it tequila. You could call it like agave-based liquor. Call it that. You could make bourbon in Canada, but you can't call it bourbon. You could call it Canadian blended whiskey, majority corn. Call it that. Some of those are like we call geographically bound items. Cognac can only come from France, and only in that one little district of France or region. It's not even all of France. So forth. All right. Tennessee whiskey. You say ding ding, only from Tennessee, right? You got it. Smoke. No smoke. Finlaggan. Trader Joe's. So you could never confuse these two because they don't smell. They look the same more or less, but they don't smell the same, and they're definitely not going to taste the same. So I prefer smoky whiskey, so I'm gonna like the Finlaggan more. That doesn't mean it's better. That's what I prefer. Other people I know, like Claude Diamond, he joins our hangouts. We're gonna bring those back. I hadn't been able to do them lately. But he would rather this because he can't stand smoky products. Personal preference, not a quality statement. It tastes smoky. Smells and tastes smoky. Because they roast the barley with a peated smoke. They take the peat, which is dug out of the ground. It's like dirt. They dry it in the sun. It'll light. It's organic matter. They burn it. So rotted organic matter. The fire they use makes smoke, common sense. They roast the barley malt and it gets infused with the smoke from the peat. And that gives it that character, okay? Chaos says good morning. Here comes the sun. Good morning to you. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it is daylight. Almost. It's dawn, nearly. Just not quite. All right. Oh, yes. A little sea salt, which it contains no sea air. Bread, the barley is going to give it a bread flavor. So just think of like a smoked product, like a smoked meat. I love it. It's infused with smokiness. Little iodine. Good stuff, man. Sean says, good morning. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? Thanks for asking. Now let's go over here to the corn kernels. Oh, wow. That is so. I don't know if in Scotland or Ireland they sell corn nuts. Oh, good. You're doing well. Good. But this tastes more corn than it does barley. But it is 100% barley, so you can't make the argument on the opposite side of it. But it is very corn. That bourbon finish, they must have used a high char barrel, and they just it's like it's soaked with bourbon flavor. I never heard of corn nuts and don't know if we have it. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna look up corn nuts website. Corn, if they still make them, corn. I don't know if I think in Scotland and Ireland they say maize, right? People say maize, not really corn. Okay, oh yeah, here's the website. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. Okay, here we go. Corn nuts. Kickin' dill pickle. That's a new flavor. Mexican style street corn, chili picante. I've seen the chili picante. I've seen the original loaded tacos. So some of these, they experiment with flavors. So the original is just like salty roasted corn kernels. You'll see what I mean. Taste the real roasted corn kernels. Hear the ultimate crunch. Enjoy a true corn snack experience. Corn nuts original. Okay. About us. Since 1939. Oh, I thought this only went back to like 40 years ago, 50 at the most. So I'm shocked that it's been around 1939. Well, just goes to show you. Okay. Hormel Foods. They were bought by, I know Hormel didn't start them, you know that. Hormel Foods, huh? They make meat. It's mostly a meat company, Hormel, but I guess they got their hands in other stuff too. They're crunchy. So if you like maize or corn, as we call it, I guess you'd like it. And that's what this whiskey tastes like, without the flavoring, obviously. Let me see if I can find these still in my town. I never buy snacks like this, honestly. I buy potato chips. Why are they showing a different town? Walgreens. They only have Walgreens selling it. In my whole town of 29,000 people, only Walgreens sells it. Shows you how popular it is these days. But it's all over New Orleans, so we just don't get it hit too much here. I never go to Walgreens. So the peat is the part of the malt toasting. Yeah, roasting. It's like they take raw malted barley. Then they roast it over a peat fire to get it dry, dry, dry. Then they put it in water and soak it, and then they process it, ferment it, let it ferment with yeast, and it turns into like a beer, a very smoky beer with no bitterness from hops, and then they distill it. So whiskey's distilled from beer or wort, and brandy is distilled from wine. So never seen that. We definitely don't have it as an American product. Yes, bacon fries goes well with alcohol. Then there's bacon flavored chips. Flavored. Yes, that's right. Okay. All right. Enough's enough. In my opinion, the Finlaggan Old Reserve is a better product. It's smoother. It's smoky. Personal preference issue. It's bread, sea salt, brine, if you want to say, iodine. maritime. It makes me want to become a lobster man or a fisherman. No, but it does remind you of the sea. My state is next to the sea. Scotland is next to the sea. Can you see what I mean? All right, this one here is good. Tastes like sweet charred corn, but tastes more like an American whiskey, which is what they're going for with the bourbon cask finish, obviously. So you say, I want to taste a scotch. I want to try a scotch that tastes like American bourbon. There you go. No corn though. So it's a mirage. See, it's fooling your mind because you're thinking corn, but you ain't getting any. It's in the flavor. It's coming from malted barley only. There's no corn added. So it makes a mirage. Now you say, is it going to be so strong with the rum cask finish, and is it going to be as strong like that with the sherry cask? The other two I have, I don't know. I haven't had them yet, but let's see. It'd be interesting to see if the rum cask is going to be an overriding rum flavor, and if the sherry cask finish is going to be an overriding sherry cask finish. Now that Dewar's mezcal, illegal mezcal cask finish, did present a very strong mezcal flavor. I mean, you could still tell it was Scotch whiskey, but it was certainly very unusual. I never got it confused with anything else because it was not possible. So I'm saying the clear and present winner is Finlaggan because of the wonderful smokiness. And for only $19.99, how could you complain? Over here, $17.99, another answer. How could you complain? I don't see how. Of course, I work with a person. He complains about everything. I laugh about it, really. I say, every food you eat, you hate it. Okay, anyway, so Les Bon Tourmalet, two good products, especially the Finlaggan, and I'm going to end this taste challenge by saying join us tomorrow, which might be done today because tomorrow is a problematic day, to say the least, with busyness. Or maybe I'll just skip it because I did one last night. I've got the greatest. I'm saying the greatest that I've got. The Ardbeg 10. Ardbeg 10 to close it out. And there ain't no way poor old Trader Joe's got a chance against that. That's just a fact, Jack. Ardbeg 10, the legendary Ardbeg 10. I can't wait. I want to do it right now. But no, that's it. All right. Thanks, everybody.